SCP-36311 is a nocturnal carnivore with red skin pigmentation. It weighs 89 kg and stands at 1.9 meters when upright, outside of a mouth and several heat-sensing orifices. SCP-36311 lacks any discernible facial features. Despite this, SCP-36311 demonstrates sight, smell, and hearing comparable with that of other large primates. SCP-36311 displays persistent hunting behavior, stalking solitary prey from a distance and attacking when it is isolated. SCP-3631 is the collective designation for two humanoids, which are SCP-36311 and SCP-3631-2. The object class is Euclid. On December 18, 2005, SCP-36311 was discovered and captured in Ombre Rouge, Louisiana, after a string of disappearances were reported along with multiple sightings of a hostile humanoid entity. SCP-36311 disappeared from its cell without explanation on November 29, 2006. After several years with no sighting or evidence supporting the entity's existence, Foundation personnel redesignated SCP-36311 as neutralized. On October 16, 2018, SCP-36311 was rediscovered along with SCP-36312 after a series of disappearances consistent with those that led to the discovery of SCP-36311. SCP-36312 is an adult male human. All of SCP-36312's limbs have been amputated, and the lower jaw and vocal cord have been removed. Additionally, a long incision has been made across SCP-36312's abdomen to allow access to the abdominal cavity. Analysis of scar tissue suggests this was likely wounded by animal claws, though the precision of the wounds implies intent beyond simple defensive or predation behavior. Although it shows signs of consciousness, SCP-36312 is capable of only weak response to stimuli, but this has improved since SCP-36312 have been taken into Foundation custody. During the investigation, MTF Epsilon 6 Village Idiots discovered SCP-36312 in an abandoned barn outside of Ombre Rouge. Several pillows, blankets, and crude objects resembling toys were found in the barn. Multiple unidentifiable human remains were also found in the barn. During efforts to extract SCP-36312, Epsilon 6 was intercepted by SCP-36311, which was quickly subdued by Epsilon 6 with minimal casualties. On the person of SCP-36312, Foundation found the identification for an individual named Simon Hayes. Records indicate Hayes was reported missing in late 2016, shortly after returning to Ombre Rouge to visit his family. Medical records indicate that Hayes had been hospitalized due to a concussion after an automotive collision on 29 November 2006. It was the same date as the disappearance of SCP-36311 from Containment. He was diagnosed with short-term retrograde amnesia. Investigation of Hayes' residence discovered a number of crude drawings in an opened envelope, several of which depicted SCP-36311. A small note was included. Found this old drawing of yours. Thought you might like to see them again. Welcome home. XO. Mom. SCP-36311 is held in a standard biological containment cell at Site-19. It is to be fed 2 kilograms of raw meat on a weekly basis. Food should be promptly removed if not consumed by SCP-36311 within 2 hours. The cell is to be cleaned on a weekly basis. And SCP-36311 must be sedated during this period and other interactions aside from testing. SCP-36312 is held in a modified chamber in the Sensitive Care Unit of Site-19. In here, SCP-36312 is provided sustenance through intravenous injection. SCP-36312 must be examined by a medical team daily. Any signs of deterioration are to be treated immediately. If SCP-36312 deteriorates to critical condition and/or does not respond to treatment, Procedure V367 Killborn is to be carried out. Before Procedure V367 Killborn, SCP-36312 must be administered anesthetic to minimize physical trauma. One human cadaver is to be placed in the vicinity of SCP-36312. Security personnel are to release SCP-36311 into SCP-36312's chamber. Personnel are not to enter the cell or disrupt SCP-36311 in any way until the procedure is concluded. At that time, SCP-36311 is to be sedated and removed from the chamber. SCP-36312 should be examined afterwards and administered antiseptic by the standby medical team. SCP-36311 displays aggressively protective behavior against perceived threat to SCP-36312. Its behavior will become significantly more aggressive since containment. SCP-36311 seems to be able to innately sense the medical condition of SCP-36312. It is demonstrated by SCP-36311's agitation and high-pitched vocalizations, typically associated with distress during surgical operations on SCP-36312. SCP-36311 will transport victims not used for sustenance to the vicinity of SCP-36312. It then will begin extracting organs from the victim to replace diseased and/or otherwise damaged organs in SCP-36312. SCP-36311 prefers to use the organs of children, but if none are available, it will use the organs of adults. The transplant's organs resume functions upon attachment. However, transplant organs quickly begin showing signs of atrophy and require replacement on an approximately monthly basis. Analysis indicates nearly all of SCP-36312's organs have been replaced in this way, and only the central nervous system and section of bones and muscle tissue was retained. It have identified tissues were from 23 different hosts. Although supplementing maintenance from SCP-36311 with care from Foundation medical teams has improved SCP-36312's condition considerably, yet attempts to replace this process with standard medical care have yielded mixed results. Process prior to containment provides poor quality of care and high risk of blood loss and infection. It is not known at this time how SCP-36312 consistently survived from it. What do you think of its behavior? Feel free to comment below. We'll see you soon.